The key Yunta asked me to hide.
Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there.
Is this where you want me to put the key?
Yes, there's a dear.
It's a handy hiding place. Who made it?
Oh, Herr Gustav. He knows only too well that some customers have their little secrets, you know. Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done.
Did you take the photos of the athletes? You're not often lonely then.
Well, look at our sweet little waitress. Doesn't she have a saucy mind? It's called art, dear. My work aims to explore every facet of youth and the vitality of bodies.
I bet it does. I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I used them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh? Here are the film rolls Yunta asked me for. All these newspaper clippings mention the brown shadow. According to Father, their influence is growing among the population. Now that I've had the misfortune of meeting Herr Huss here, I understand his concern.
Get away!
Yunta's coffer key. I'll need a key to open it. Where can I find the combination for the mechanism?
I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I used them as a sort of checklist.
A checklist, huh?
Interesting footage. Let's see what's on the other reel. Lenny didn't say she filmed a fight between Dana and Leon. I'd better go back and see her to find out about it. That must be the piano Dana played on the night she met Leon. The night Lenny told me about.
Ah, I see I'm not the only one stuck here. Bah, pull up a seat and together we can moan about being stuck here.
Thank you, but I have things to do.
I hope you can stay until this evening at least. In London they have the changing of the guard. Here we get the changing of the colors. I guarantee it's worth the wait. Hmm? English?
American, actually.
Oh, seeing as you've come so far, then. Besides, it's always nicer to be stranded in good company. From Belgium, myself, on a world climbing tour.
Stranded?
Didn't you know? They've closed the Teufelskragen. That's the pass they call the Devil's Pass.
So that's what all the fuss is about.
All down to climate change.
You mean the thaw, right?
Made the pass too dangerous to climb and apparently resulted in a morbid discovery.
Oh?
Bodies of resistance fighters, killed while leading refugees to Switzerland. Frozen solid.
Resistance fighters? You mean frozen since the Second World War?
That's what the paper says.
Is that what the tent's for?
It's a temporary chapel of rest that the rescue team made while waiting for the bodies to be airlifted out.
I see. I guess there's no reason to disrespect the departed, even after all these years.
I only hope all this sudden interest from excavationists puts an end to the stupid rumors that a strange creature haunts the Silberspiegel. Otherwise, you can be sure, as soon as the old lady pops her clogs, this place will become run over by those infernal tourists.
Can you tell me about this Devil's Pass?
Oh, it's on the far side of the cirque, looking out from the terrace. As you can imagine, it's called Devil's Pass because it's extremely dangerous. Most of all because of the risk of avalanche. Only seasoned alpinists can negotiate it, really. As a professional alpinist myself, what I love about it is knowing I'm climbing in the tracks of courageous climbers of bygone times. There's a real sense of history about it. For example, resistance fighters used it during the war to smuggle vagrants and other victims of the Brown Shadow into Switzerland.
I've had some experience with fantastic fauna myself. But what do you make of the so-called strange creature that roams the mountain?
Just another local fairy tale to pull in the tourists, if you ask me. They say it lives in prehistoric caves. And that it's responsible for people going missing. Ooh. Some even say that the mysterious cries you can hear on some nights are the creature calling for a mate. In other words, the usual twaddle you normally get in remote or uncharted places like the high mountain or the deep sea. Twaddle passed down from generation to generation, through sheer ignorance.
What about those frozen bodies they discovered at the foot of Devil's Pass?
Well, due to climate change, the snow line has receded, revealing the bodies trapped in the ice since the Second World War. Most probably resistance fighters and exiles, trying to flee the fascist occupiers and reach Switzerland by the pass. I imagine they got caught in an avalanche. Poor wretches have been imprisoned ever since. Until today. That is why the authorities have blocked access to the pass, so they can take the bodies out, identify them, and give them a proper burial.
I see. I saw the tent at the foot of the pass through the spyglass outside. Didn't realize it sheltered such a gruesome discovery, though. Right. Thanks for cluing me in. Anyway, I better get back to what I was doing.
You are welcome, Fräulein.
Reminds me of Hans's automatons in Valladolid. Demoiselle Lenny, I saw the film you shot of Dana and Leon.
So Junta kept it. She got so cross when she discovered I'd rummaged through her stuff. She most certainly had secrets of her own, that one.
I know it was ages ago, but can you recall what happened between Dana and Leon that day?
You do like flogging a dead horse, don't you, Fraulein? But as you please. Since Junta never let me use her camera, I decided not to ask her anymore. Like that, she couldn't say no, could she? And that's when I heard them arguing.
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
I told you I had no choice. The local guide for Baltayar can't do it anymore. He got injured.
There are plenty of other guides in Wagen. Why does it have to be you? Just tell them to find someone else.
Look, Dana, I didn't want to tell you, but...
But what?
Frank Huss, that brute from the other night. He's the one that made the call here. In other words, he's taking revenge by sending me to the other side of the world with the Origin expedition. And he said that if I refused, something might happen. Not just to me, but to you as well.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're a Vegarian and so are your parents, right? Well, Huss says it won't be long before the Brown Shadow is in power, and he made it clear that something was brewing, and that you and your parents would be first on the list.
What list?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Then he said that other Vegarians would follow.
Dear God.
Dana, darling, the world's gone crazy. Promise me you'll be very careful. It will be all right if you just watch yourself and what you say. I've asked Junta to stand by you just in case. It won't be long, darling. Half a school year at the Music Academy. I'll be home for Christmas. Promise. Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that. You know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly where you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on, then.
All right. Your nickname will be Highland Painter from now on.
Not sure my Veganese artist friends will like it, but why not? Beautiful, isn't it? I could stay here forever.
There, Fraulein Walker. That is all I have to say. I hope this time you have what you need to continue on your journey.
Thank you, Demoiselle Lenny. But there is just one more thing. You mentioned a music academy? They must have ledgers and archives. Maybe I'll be able to find out whether Dana left an address there.
Well, it hasn't moved. It's still in Wagen. Go to the musicians' district. It's right next to the musical square. That's all I can tell you. So if you don't mind, Fraulein.
Thank you. Then that's where I'll continue my search.
Is it really worth your while to keep looking for Dana? Is it not just another pipe dream, Fraulein? I get the impression there have been others.
I prefer to look at it as a calling. Besides, I don't have much choice. Thanks to you, she's a part of me now.
As you wish. I hope you find what you are looking for.
Thank you. Again. I've got everything I need from here, I guess. Best get back to the guest house. Get some rest. I'll go to the music academy first thing in the morning.